News investigation discovers the city of Madison failed to tell impacted overseas voters their ballots were not counted during the November 2024 election.
During that fall election, nearly 200 ballots went uncounted in the city of Madison. The missing ballots did not impact any election results, but while the city informed voters living in the states, anyone overseas was left in the dark.
Our Wisconsin State Capitol Bureau Chief Vanessa Kelson breaks down the reports.
So why did the city not tell those impacted overseas voters their ballots went uncounted in 2024? Well, our investigation reveals the city just didn't properly track whether overseas voters were notified in the first place.
So it was twice disappointing.
Emma Kempf, a graduate of UW-Madison, is a student in Taiwan. She voted absentee in the November 2024 election.
Every time I get my ballot, I make sure to vote right away.
She says the My Vote Wisconsin portal showed her ballot arrived weeks before Election Day.
I just assumed it was counted.
But 7 months after the election, she receives a letter asking if she wants to join a class action lawsuit for voters whose ballots weren't counted.
And I asked why I had never been informed by the city itself.
So Kempf asked the city. Staff confirmed her ballot arrived in October but was never counted. When she asked why she wasn't notified, they had no answer.
It was almost even more disappointing that the city never informed me.
Internal emails that I obtained show City of Madison staff weren't sure if overseas voters were ever notified, writing about their letters, quote, "I'm not sure where they are saved, and we should have it somewhere."
I feel like my vote not being counted was not just the failure of one irresponsible city clerk. I feel like it was a failure of a system on multiple levels.
The new Madison City Clerk, Lydia McComas, who has been on the job for just 2 months, has now inherited the aftermath.
So because of your open records request, I was made aware.
The day before our interview, McComas sends out these apology letters to those overseas voters.
As soon as I found out about that, I sent them the notice that their ballots were not counted, and with our apologies. We get into this role because we want to uphold democracy, and when ballots don't get counted, we really lose a lot of trust.
Kempf was not alone. Our investigation found 5 other overseas voters in Hong Kong, the Netherlands, Japan, Canada, and Spain weren't told by the city either. So how did these ballots go uncounted? A Wisconsin Elections Commission investigation found these ballots were misplaced by the city's clerk's office and weren't found until weeks after the election.
What on earth is going on?
Well, the ballots were reported to former city clerk Maribeth Wetzel-Bell. WEC found she instead went on vacation for weeks, only reporting the missing ballots a month and a half after the election. The clerk resigned. Her attorney declined to comment on this story or the missing ballots.
I sincerely apologize that their votes were not counted. When you submit your ballot, you assume that it will be counted.
The law firm Law Forward filing a class action lawsuit against the city of Madison in September.
The right to vote comes from the Wisconsin Constitution. It is a foundational right in our democracy.
In response to the suit, the city attorney Michael Haas wrote, "The city has made significant changes to the way it processes absentee ballots and strengthened its documentation protocols. We are confident that what happened in November 2024 will not be repeated."
It could have been any of us. We want to set a precedent that the right to vote in Wisconsin is valuable, and interference with that right will have a cost.
Is there anything they can do to make this right for you?
Never let it happen again.
So what changes are being made? Well, first, the new Madison City Clerk tells me they're keeping cleaner records, better internal communications, and a new internal staff structure. The Wisconsin Elections Commission has also made recommendations for the city, encouraging other cities across Wisconsin to learn from Madison to ensure this never happens again. Recommendations include making sure each election official at a polling place knows the exact amount of absentee ballots to expect, checking all carts and bags when returned to the clerk's office, documenting which city employees are responsible for which election laws, and printing poll books closer to Election Day to better keep track of which registered voters have already returned their absentee ballots. In the meantime, Law Forward tells me they expect the city to respond with next steps for the lawsuit sometime this month. From Madison, Vanessa Kelson.